I asked him for the files, and he basically emailed me back. Mind you, I didn't say anything regarding price. Like I just said, hey, is it possible for you to give me these files? Um, and I didn't say that I wasn't going to pay him. I didn't say that it was going to be for free. And so I just wanted to know, is it possible? If he would have told me it was possible, like I do with my illustrator that I use now, and to this day I love her. Her name is Tanya. I'll tell you how I found Tanya after this debacle on Fiverr. So I went back to him and I asked him. I said, "Hey, is it possible to give me the AI files or the PSD files? Because I'm working on the children's book and I want to put it on an app so it can move, blah blah blah." And he hit me back with a letter. Man, I really wish I would have recorded this back in the day as I was going through this, because I could, man, it's crazy. But he hit me back with a letter, and he's basically said to me, he was like, "No, I can't give you the files. That's not in our agreement. That wasn't in our agreement. I'm not giving you the files. Blah blah blah." So I just wrote him back. I said, "Okay, no problem." And I said, "No problem. I understand." Mind you, I never said that I wanted it for free. I was going to pay him for these files. But he just took, for some reason, as an artist, and I get it, because I'm an artist as well. Outside of me creating books, outside of me, doing what I do when I worked in the TV and film industry, or when with me creating a game that I'm working on now, I get it. Like, we get sensitive. We sensitive of our shit, right? So, but it comes to a point where it's like you gotta remove that sensitivity from your art and actually think about art with business, and realize that when I messaged him, it wasn't in the sense of me getting anything for free. I didn't ask you to do my book for free. I paid you to do my book. So why would you think I would ask you for the other files for free? Some illustrators and some freelancers and people that work, they do give you other files for free. Nowadays, I believe when you do Fiverr, I'm not sure. I'm not on Fiverr no more. But nowadays, I believe they'll give you over the other files, because it's all one file. When you do a AI file or a PSD file, you create a file, you save the file, and then you export it into a PDF or whatever. So it's not like you're doing a whole nother piece of work to create these files. What I honestly think happened in that moment is, not only was he in his feelings, but also I think he might have deleted the files. I think he might have did the files, and I think he deleted everything, and I think he didn't really want to go back and redo everything over. And so instead of him saying like, "Hey man, I have the files, but I'm gonna charge you extra for these files," he just got mad at me. So I was like, okay. So I just left it alone. I said, all right, cool, whatever. And I left that alone, and going forward, because I knew I wanted to make Prada Enchilada into a couple other books with a series for children, I just decided not to work with him. So I actually left him alone, and I actually left the Fiverr platform outside of me actually finding my first editor to edit my children's books on Fiverr, which was a young lady also that I paid $5 to $10 for to edit my books on that platform, who was a literary professor, or English teacher, sorry, at UCLA. She did a wonderful job, and I would give her like my manuscripts. I would send it over to her, and in the beginning, honestly, I wasn't even sending her no manuscripts. Yo, when I tell you I was green in the beginning, I was green. I was sending her, literally, I would write stuff out on paper, and I think I was screenshotting it in my phone, and I was just like emailing it to her. Like, I wasn't even like typing it. I don't think so. Maybe I did type it. I might have typed it. No, maybe I did type it, because it's been a journey, man. I really wish I would have documented this from the beginning. But yeah, I found her on there, and we went back and forth. She would email me. I would email her over my manuscripts, and she would basically email me back what she fixed or what she changed. I would look through it again, just to make sure she didn't miss anything. I would also make sure everything was grammatically correct, and if I found anything that was wrong or missing, I would change it myself. And then I would email someone else, like a friend, to read over it, make sure it was grammatical errors. So I go through a lengthy process when it comes to editing, because just because you use one editor doesn't mean that you just go right ahead with your stuff. You want to go through numerous process. Wait, dang it, I can't talk now. You want to go through many. I'm just gonna say many stages before you just go and put stuff out there. So I went through her, and then I looked at it, and then I went to a friend, and they looked at it, and I looked at it again, and I went to another friend, and they looked at it, and I looked at it again. So it was about like maybe like 5 or 6 revisions or edits that I went through to make sure it was cool, make sure nothing was being missed. Because even to this day, I read books here and there, and and there's always a couple mistakes in some books. So whether it be punctuation, whether it be grammatical errors, whether it be a word misspelled, you'll find mistakes. But don't charge it to the author. You gotta charge it to those editors. It's like don't charge it to nobody. You know, as human beings, we have our eyes miss things, so there's always gonna be a mistake in something.